The capacitor used in single-phase capacitor motor have no polarity marking. If a DC series motor is operated on AC supply, it will spark excessively, have poor efficiency, have poor power factor. A universal motor is one which can be operated either on DC or AC supply at approximately the same speed and output. In an AC series motor, armature coils are usually connected to commutator through resistance. Repulsion motor is equipped with commutator. Which of the following motor has two separate windings on the motor? Repulsion induction motor. Which of the following statement regarding a reluctance motor is incorrect? It cannot be reversed ordinarily. A shaded pole does not possess centrifugal switch, capacitor, commutator. To reverse the direction of rotator of a capacitor start motor while it is running, we should disconnect motor from the supply till it stops, then reconnect it to the supply with reverse connection of main or auxiliary winding. In case of reluctance, in case of reluctance motor, when the load is increased so that it cannot maintain synchronous speed, the motor speed will run as induction motor. Most of the frictional horsepower motors have either plain or sleeve bearing. In a universal motor, the most common cause of brush sparking is open armature winding, shorted armature winding, shorted field winding, high commutator mica, all of the above. Which of the following statements regarding reluctance start motor is incorrect? It is similar to reluctance motor. If starting winding of a single-phase induction motor is left in the circuit, it will draw excessive current and overheat. If the centrifugal switch of a two-value capacitor motor using two capacitors fails to open, an electrolytic capacitor will in all probability suffer breakdown. Which of the following statements regarding two-value capacitor motor is incorrect? It is preferred to permanent split single value capacitor motor where frequent reversals are required. If single phase if a single phase induction motor runs slower than normal, the most likely defect is worn bearing. Two value capacitor motor finds increased applicable application as compressor motor in small home air conditioners because it has low starting as well as running currents at relatively high power factor. Which of the following motor is used in tape recorder hysteresis motor? Starting winding of a single phase motor of a refrigerator is disconnected from the circuit by means of a magnetic relay. Centrifugal switch disconnect the auxiliary winding of the motor at about 70 to 80% of synchronous speed. Which of the following motor is used in a situation where load increases with speed? Three-phase series motor. Which of the following motor is used for unity power factor Shraj motor? In a repulsion motor, zero torque is developed when brush axis coincides with the field axis. Brush axis is 90-degree electrical to field axis. Ohm's law is not applicable to semiconductor. The motor used for the compressor is capacitor start capacitor run motor. The purpose of stator winding in the compensator repulsion motor is to improve power factor and provide better speed regulation. These rotor slots in induction motor are usually not quite parallel to shaft because it helps in reducing the tendency of the rotor teeth to remain under the stator teeth. In a ceiling fan employing capacitor on motor, secondary winding surround the primary winding. The speed load characteristic of universal motor is same as that of DC series motor. The shaded pole motor is used for low state starting torque. If the centrifugal switch does not open at 30 to 80% of synchronous speed of motor, it would result in damage to the starting winding. speed torque characteristics of a repulsion induction motor is similar to that of a DC compound motor. In a split phase motor, main winding is of thick wire placed at the bottom of the slots. In repulsion motor, maximum torque is developed when brush axis is at 45 electrical to the field axis. The rotor of a hysteresis motor is made of chrome steel. Which of the following application always has some load where whenever switch on pistol rails? Torque developed by a single phase induction motor at starting is nil. The speed of control of universal motor used for stemming machine is by varying the resistance. The electric motor used in portable drill is universal motor. In a hysteresis motor, the rotor must have retentivity. Locked rotor current of a shaded pole motor is slightly more than full load current. Which of the following statement regarding the pole start induction motor is incorrect? In a fractional horsepower motor, it has replaced the capacitor motors. After the starting winding of a single phase induction motor is disconnected from supply, it continues to run only on running winding. AC series motor as compared to DC series motor, small brush width, less number of field turns, more number of armature turns, less air gap. Hysteresis motor is particularly useful for high quality record player and tape record because it develops a hysteresis torque which is extremely steady both in amplitude and phase. Which of the following statements regarding single phase induction motor correct? It is not self-starting. Speed control of a universal motor is achieved by varying field flux with tapped field winding, connecting rheostat in series, applying variable voltage by means of silicon control rectifier, applying variable voltage by means of variable autotransformer, all of the above methods. Which of the following statement regarding hysteresis motor is incorrect? It is extremely sensitive to fluctuation in supply voltage. The starting winding of a single phase motor is placed in stator. The speed of universal motor is usually reduced by using gearing. A reluctance motor is self-starting is constant speed motor needs no DC excitation, which motor is normally free from mechanical and magnetic vibrations. Hysteresis motor as hysteresis motors are free from mechanical and magnetic vibration, therefore these are considered as suitable for sound equipments. The direction of rotation of universal motor can be reversed by reversing the flow of current through either armature winding or field winding. When a DC series motor is connected to AC supply, the power factor will be low because of high inductance of field and armature circuit. In which single phase motor the rotor has no teeth or winding hysteresis motor. The speed of universal motor is generally reduced by using gear trains. Which of the following single phase motor has relatively poor starting torque capacitor motor? Which of the following motors can be used for unity power factor surge motor? Which type of load is offered by cranes and hoist reversing heavy start? The wattage rating for a single fan motor will be in the range 50 to 50 watt. The wattage of motor for driving domestic sewing machine will be around 100 to 50 watt. In case of high speed universal motor, which of the following needs more attention? Balancing of rotor. The repulsion start induction run motor is used because of high starting torque. In case of a shaded pole motor, the direction of rotation of the motor is from main pole to shaded pole. Which of the following single phase induction motor is generally used in time phonograph? Shaded pole. Which of the following motor has highest starting torque? Capacitor start motor. Which of the following motor can be run on AC as well as DC supply? Universal motor. In AC series motor, compensating winding is employed to reduce sparking at the brushes. In a two-value capacitor motor. The capacitor used for running purpose is paper-based oil-filled type. In split-phase motor, auxiliary winding is of thin wire placed at the top of the slots. Single-phase induction motor usually operates at 0.6 power factor lagging. Which of the following motor will operate at high power factor? Capacitor run motor. Which of the following single-phase motor is suitable for timing and control purpose? Reluctance motor. A Schrage motor can run on zero sleep, negative sleep, positive sleep, all of the above. A universal motor can run on AC only, DC only, either AC or DC. Which of the following motor is preferred for tape recorder? Hysteresis motor. A single-phase induction motor is inherently non-self-starting with low torque. For which of the following application a reluctance motor is preferred? Signaling and timing devices. The motor used on small lathes is usually single-phase capacitor run motor. A hysteresis motor works on the principle of hysteresis laws. Which of the following motor will give the highest starting torque? Schrage motor. Repulsion start and induction run. Which of the following motor will give the highest starting torque? Schrage motor. The power factor of a single phase induction motor is usually lagging. A shaded pole motor can be used for toys, hair dryers, circulators, any of the above. In a DC capacitor, in a capacitor start single phase motor when capacitor is replaced by a resistor, motor will continue to run in same direction. Short circuiter is used in repulsion start induction motor. The range of efficiency for shaded pole motor is 5 to 35%. Burning out of winding is due to short circuited capacitor. Direction of rotation of a split phase motor can be reversed by reversing the connecting of running winding only, starting winding only. Which of the following motor is inherently self-starting? Shaded pole motor. The direction of rotation of an hysteresis motor is determined by a position of shaded pole with respect to main pole. A capacitor start single-phase induction motor is switched on to supply with its capacitor replaced by an induction motor of equivalent resistance value. It will not start at all. Which of the following motor is used in Max's universal motor? In a single phase motor, the centrifugal switch disconnects auxiliary winding of the motor. The running winding of a single phase motor on testing with Mager is found to be ground. Most probable location of the ground will be at the slot's edge where coil enters or comes out of the slots. The value of starting capacitor of a fractional horsepower motor will be 300 microfarad. In propulsion motor, direction of rotation of motor is the same as that of brush shift. A centrifugal switch is used to disconnect starting winding when motor has picked up about 50 to 70% of rated speed. In a shaded pole single-phase motor, the revolving speed is produced by the use of shading coil. If a particular application needs high speed and high starting torque, then which of the following motor will be preferred? Universal motor. Which of the following motor will have relatively high power factor? Capacitor run motor. In a shaded pole motor, the shading coil usually consists of a single turn of heavy copper wire which is short circuited and carries only induced current. The rotor developed by a single phase motor at starting is zero. In a split phase motor, the starting winding is connected through a centrifugal switch. If the capacitor of a single phase motor is short circuited, the motor will not start. In a capacitor start and run motor, the function of the running capacitor is raised with the auxiliary winding is to improve power factor. In a split phase motor, the running winding should have low resistance and high inductance. In a capacitor start single phase motor, current in the starting winding leads the voltage. In a capacitor start motor, the phase displacement between starting and running winding can be nearly 90 degrees. Which of the following motor will give relatively high starting torque? Capacitor start motor,